So today I'm going to be switching out my network switch here with a much smaller fanless network switch. Just to make the video quality a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and power it down. Much better. The old switch here is a managed switch that has 24 ports on it and a couple of loud fans. This one here only has 8 ports on it. It's unmanaged and it's fanless. So as you can tell, I don't use all 24 ports, so that's why I'm going down to an 8 port. On top of that, this uses a lot more electricity, and since I'm not using it to its fullest capacity, there's no sense in me paying that extra few bucks a month in that electricity being used. Now, I mentioned that this one is managed, whereas this one is unmanaged. The difference is that a managed switch like this one is great for if you have multiple VLANs or if you need to add more control to specific ports about traffic that you want to allow to one port but not another, and so on and so forth. Unmanaged, you don't get that type of freedom. It's basically, this is how it is, plain and simple. Very minimal changes can be made. You know, I am losing a little bit of functionality, but since I'm not using that one to its fullest capacity, it's perfectly fine to use something such as this that is better for homes and not as powerful for something that's needed in an enterprise setup. So let's go ahead and go over what I've got here. So I have my modem right here. I've got a hub for my smart lights, and then I've got my switch. I've got my cable coming from the switch to my router. Then I've got to my smart hub. I've got to my living room, to my Linux computer, to my other living room. I've got 2 small ones. And then to the iMac. So I've got just a few there, and they're all gonna fit here. So let's go ahead and swap this out. Pretty straightforward. Alright, as you can tell, that was pretty easy, pretty quick, not a whole lot to it, and the reason is that I don't have any VLANs or anything like that set up. Everything was just plug and play. Now, had I had VLANs or anything extra, that would have been a little bit more difficult. In that case there, it'd be more of a enterprise setup. So since I don't have that, that was pretty straightforward, pretty quick, pretty easy. So now there's lights on this. They're flashing on what is actually using data at the moment and what's live. I've got a few ports that are plugged in that they're not using anything right now, so the light's going to stay off. Unfortunately, because those wires are bent, this wants to kind of stay popped up, so over time those cables will flatten out and that'll lay flat. This thing here, as you can tell, is much larger, so got some room for the fans to blow through. It's got some ports on the back for stacking and all that, so this is truly more of an enterprise setup. As you can see by this picture here that you're looking at, starting from the right going left, we've got my router that is supplying data to my switch, and then we've skipped 2 ports because I don't need them. And then we've got a few ports going to a computer, a couple going to walls, and then the last one is going to my smart light hub. The reason why my router is providing network is because my coax cable goes into my modem. My modem then supplies network to my router. And then my router has a 4-port switch that is built into it that is supplying to a game console and a couple other things. And then it also provides to my switch, which then in turn sends to up to 7 other devices. I know that can be a bit confusing. If you have any questions about that type of setup, definitely leave those down below. I'm happy to chat with you. I know that was a quick and easy video. If you have any questions, comments, definitely leave them down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch more of my videos. Thank you.